Good evening and a warm welcome to you. Welcome to today's Instagram live, and today's Instagram live is more special than the other Instagram lives because we're not talking about something only from the textbooks. We're not talking about something that is more relevant to doing, but today we are talking about something deeper than doing. And if you wonder what do I mean when I say deeper than doing, today we are talking about the being part of you. So we are talking about stress management for you and for me. Yes, whoever you are dealing with, whoever is in your world, each one of us does have something to feel stressful about. Not that we are living in stress all the time, but then there are these ups and downs of life, and these ups and downs of life, out of these there are some situations which you haven't dealt with before, which are new to you, which are challenging to you. And because there is so much uncertainty, there is so much challenge in the situation, I think all of us are fearful of uncertainty. All of us are fearful of the unknown, and this dealing with uncertainty and unknown causes stress for you and me. So today we are talking about how can you manage stress. Of course, I would love to use the topic as something as how can you get freedom from stress, but getting freedom from stress, I think that's like, that itself is a very stressful thought. So the more you chase freedom from stress, probably you will get stressed about wanting to eliminate stress from your life. And that is absolutely what we do not want. So those of you who do not know me, I am Dr. Shweta Iyengar from Skin Sense Aesthetic Clinic. At Skin Sense Aesthetic Clinic, we partner with you and we promise you amazing skin and amazing hair at any age. Hi Rishabh, hi Jatin, hi everybody who's here for today's conversation. Welcome to today's conversation, and I promise you that in the next 30 minutes together, we are going to discover some really fun practices, some really powerful practices, some empowering coping mechanisms. So if you've heard the word coping mechanisms before, we all have coping mechanisms to deal with life. We all have coping mechanisms to minimize our pain, but out of these coping mechanisms, some coping mechanisms are harmful to us. They may give us temporary gratification, whereas some other coping mechanisms are the coping mechanisms which give both short-term and long-term benefits. So today I am going to share with you my favorite coping mechanisms, the one I share with my loved ones and help them deal with stress, the ones I use personally to deal with stress. So we're going to learn some coping mechanisms that are not just effective short term, but which have a lot of long-term benefits too. So what do I mean when I say that there are helpful and harmful coping mechanisms to deal with stress? So let me give you an example so that you have more clarity of what exactly I mean. So even if I give you one single example, I think you will get the gist of the conversation and you will be able to elaborate that to many more examples you already know. So one coping mechanism which is harmful, it might be able to give you stress relief, but it is actually harmful, could be something like regular drinking or regular smoking. So if you're using smoking or drinking as a means to deal with stress, then you know that it might be temporarily effective in giving you that escapism in dealing with stress, but in the long term, it does have a lot of side effects. So what could be the other way? The other way could be to spend some time with nature, to go out on a walk. So this is something which will give you a short-term distractions, which will help you deal with stress in a short term, but even over the long term, it has a lot of benefits. So I'm going to be, in fact, I created a carousel. I will be creating a video. In case you haven't found the link to the video, you can ask me. I have listed down 9 ways of dealing with stress. I have made a carousel and a video, a swipe file around it. You can save it and you can use it. You can even share it with your loved ones. Probably you've already heard a few of them somewhere or the other, but having them together as a to-do, ready reckoner. So in times of stress, you could just swipe through it and choose your favorite one or the most easily accessible one, and you could enjoy it. So if you haven't seen that file yet, which I have posted on my Instagram, I will be posting on my YouTube channel tomorrow. So if you haven't seen that file yet, either look for it, save it, you feel free to share it with your friends, and in case you do not find it, please ask me to share that file with you. These creations are made for you. I am making this creation so that this powerful knowledge can be shared with more and more people, and more people can live empowered life. So there is a lot of powerful knowledge that I have gathered as 11 years as an entrepreneur, 11 years as a specialist doctor in aesthetic medicine. So I have heard challenges of thousands of men and women, and I have read through the psychology textbooks, the nutrition textbook, of course my medical textbook taught me a lot, and experience taught me a lot, attending international conferences taught me a lot. So putting all this together, trying them on a lot of people, finding out the best practices, discussing with my colleagues, with my seniors, the best practices that have worked for them. So I think I love best practices, and I think that best practices come from the tried and tested. And finally, however good it sounds on paper, however good it looks on an Excel sheet, however good it looks in clinical trials, what we need to talk about is tried and tested on real people, real feedback, and real delight that has been caused to people. I've put all these together, and this is what I will be sharing with you, best practices that really work. So hi Nisha, and what a delight to see you, talking about stress and the coping mechanisms, talking about the first way to release stress, or the first way to not let stress affect you very badly, is going to be to accept that stress is an integral part of our life. So the first step is acceptance. I am never going to put a hashtag as freedom from stress. Reason being, the minute you start feeling that I should never have stress, I should be able to eliminate stress from my life. Why is this happening to me? I don't deserve this stress. That kind of conversation, if you're having it, or if you know people who are having it, you know that that itself could be a cause of stress. So I think acceptance and surrender are two words that we have become control freaks over a period of time. Of course, we need to be goal oriented, we need to set smart goals, we need to be committed towards our goals. So being committed towards our goals is something that gives us huge energy to do things in our life. But being committed does not mean being obsessed. Being committed does not mean being attached. Being committed does not mean being over disappointed when something goes wrong in your life, because it is an upward and a downward moment where some things are going to go wrong in your life, despite you putting in the best efforts, despite you doing everything wrong. And how will you cope up with that situation when something goes wrong in your life, something that you worked really hard over, somewhere where you feel that there is no mistake at all, you did everything that you were asked to do, you did everything that you thought you need to do to get something, and despite doing everything, you then found out that things didn't work for you, it was a breakdown, or you feel that you're trying to control things too hard. You know that unless certain things are controlled, it is going to be a breakdown, and you don't want a breakdown, and you're controlling so hard, and that leads to a lot of stress. And we are going to learn how to deal with this stress over short term. Dealing with this stress over long term, yes, that will be another conversation altogether, because I believe that when we get stressed about something, it is because we have a certain kind of belief about that thing. And if we are able to converse with ourselves, converse with our beliefs, the way we have collected these beliefs over a period of time in our life, and when we are able to see very clearly that what are the core beliefs that are holding us to ransom. Yes, I'm using a very strong word, but sometimes our beliefs are holding us to ransom, and they are kind of keeping us restless most of the time. So whenever you're feeling extremely stressed, whenever you're feeling extremely restless, if you have that amount of emotional resilience, probably if you could take a back step, the way people call it, transcend, and have a look at what exactly are your stressors about, what really are your fears, what are your beliefs that are causing these fears, and how exactly you have accumulated these beliefs over a period of time, and how you can challenge these beliefs and how you can replace them with new beliefs that are empowering to you and less stressful to you. Yes, you can choose a new set of beliefs at any age, at any situation of your life, so that you reduce the stress in your life. Look around you and look at all the people who are really stressed around you. So as a doctor, I meet a lot of people who share all their personal stories with me, and in the sharing of their personal stories, many times they share the breakdowns of their life and also how stressed they feel about it. And I realize that there are people who are feeling super stressed and unable to cope with even very small breakdowns, whereas some other people have really big breakdowns but they are able to cope with it a lot better. So this could be because of two things. One is the beliefs that they have about a breakdown. So since we're talking about stress and breakdowns, so what is your belief about a breakdown? Do you feel that a breakdown is something absolutely terrible, or do you feel that a breakdown is something that is normal and natural and probably gives you an opportunity to introspect and start all over again, and this time do things differently? So I would like you to have certain conversations, whether it is stress over work, whether it is stress over some weight loss goal you have set. So we set a lot of goals. Goal setting is becoming more and more popular today. Yes, I am a big fan of goal setting too, but then I would like to repeat what I said some time ago, that I love to be committed to my goals, but at the same time I do not want to be obsessed by my goals. I do not want my life to be held ransom by my goals, because I know that everything else being amazing, if there is an undercurrent of stress in my life, it is never going to be pleasurable. It is never going to be I can never be the best version of me, even if I have the entire checklist in place, but I am living under stress. I can definitely never be the best version of me. So why is it so important to talk about stress and the coping mechanisms of stress? So it is so important to talk about stress because you know that I have been making a lot of educational conversations. I have been making a lot of educational videos and carousels. In fact, I have videos that I release almost 4 times a week. I make around 4 carousels a week, and I have 2 Instagram live sessions, very powerful sessions with action steps, sessions that empower you to make better choices, sessions that empower you to know more and to do more. So whenever I have these sessions, whether I have them on skin, whether I have them on hair, or whether I have them on a good body shape or better immunity. Even when it comes to skin, whether I'm talking about aging, whether I'm talking about acne, whether I'm talking about dark circles, or whether I'm talking about pigmentation, what I realize is one common thing that I tend to mention again and again, whatever is the topic I'm talking about, is I always tend to mention that stress is something that is causing damage in that area. So when I talk about hair fall, I do mention that stress is one of the factors for hair fall. When I talk about aging, I do mention that stress is one of the factors for aging. When I talk about weight gain around the belly, polycystic ovaries, insulin resistance, diabetes, because as a wellness and beauty consultant, managing all these metabolic syndromes, managing all these imbalances is important to me. So when I talk about the various imbalances, why they are caused, what needs to be controlled, one of the factors that I always mention about is stress. So in the last 2 months that I have been doing this Instagram lives twice a week, I did realize that stress was something that was so often mentioned in most of my conversations, and then I said that it is my personal responsibility to have a few conversations around stress management, because if you're able to manage your stress, you will be able to manage your wellness better, you will be able to manage your beauty better. So my mission is to empower you with fun and easy ways to manage your wellness and beauty powerfully, and that is why I am having this conversation about stress, because I know that just by saying that You got to not be too stressed. You got to manage your stress better. I think just saying that is, easier said than done. I mean, it would just be a mockery if I don't partner with you, if I don't empower you, if I don't hold your hand, and if I just give you this gyan. So, just saying something without partnering with something, without enabling them, without empowering them, without being there for them, I think that's just called as giving gyan. And my agenda is not to give gyan. My agenda is to cause transformations in your life. And that is why we are having this topic. We will probably have this topic yet again, because this is quite a vast topic, and we need to spend some time to get it, because I think in our generation, which is in the last 20 to 25 years, I think it's become stylish to be stressed up. It's become stylish to be stressful, that we have agreed, or we have made stress so much a part of our lives, that now to let go of stress even to a small extent, I think I've heard this quotation, when I was growing up, that fresh air smells funny. So there was something that said that the air is so polluted that if you go to a place where there's fresh air, instead of knowing that that is the actual air that we are supposed to breathe, we will feel that it's a funny smelling air, because we have been so used to this polluted air. Similarly, probably once you start dealing with looking into stress right into the eye and letting go of that stress and not having so much stress in your life, probably we will find that whole situation funny, rather than knowing that that is how our existence is going to be. We have lived so long with this stress that we are going to find it funny. And yes, as I go deeper and deeper into the stress management techniques, I think somewhere it is going to have some resistance to let go. Sometimes you're going to feel, but how is it even possible? Is what you're saying even possible? Because so long we have not even given it a choice that we can live in a place where the stress is a lot less. Somehow we have internalized stress, or we have made it a lot more fashionable. So let me just tell you that there are two things I just spoke about. So since it's just a conversation, since it's not a 1, 2, 3, 4 checklist that I'm presenting to you, yes, sometimes I do understand that checklists are important. You do need 5 ways to do this, 10 ways to do that, and I do that too. Some of my conversations are about 5 ways to lose weight, 5 reasons why you are not being able to control your belly fat, or 5 reasons why you have dark underarms. So I've made all these topics also because some people love these topics. If you haven't watched all my Instagram lives, they are super useful. So if you connect to this conversation, I would request you to subscribe to my Instagram, because every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. I go live and I talk about the topic that people ask me to share with them, that is on top of people's mind, that people feel that they would like to have a little more clarity on, and I share only action steps. Like as I'm talking about stress management, I am going to be talking about what I personally have used to deal with stress and what has really worked for me. And because of these personal sharings and this personal connect, I think we are able to make a lot more difference in our own lives and in other people's life by authentically sharing what has worked for us, what we have also shared with our other friends and family members. In my case, with my thousands of clients, what I have shared with them and what kind of feedback I have got with them. So everything I talk about, everything that I will be talking about today is definitely tried and tested and proven to work, not in 1 or 2 people, but in thousands of people. And I promise that it will work for you. Another thing I always promise in my conversations is I do not want to make it very heavy. I never want to make it overwhelming. I never want to make it a to-do, must-do, have-to-do list for you. I want to keep it fun, simple and easy. I am sure that in the entire conversation, in today's conversation and another conversation which we are going to have on Thursday 9 to 9:30, we will have coping mechanisms with stress part 2, and we will go deeper into understanding what are the beliefs that cause stress, how we are so how we are so eager to be accepted by people around us, how we have made that as a benchmark of our success, and how making that as a benchmark of our success in any area. Here I'm not only talking as an entrepreneur, not only talking as a doctor, I'm talking even in areas of relationships. This will resonate even with a housewife, even a housewife who is taking care of her children, who is taking care of her kitchen. I mean, somewhere all her self-worth, if it has to come from what other people think about her as a housewife, or what other people think about her as a mother, and she's trying to fit into some kind of role model housewife or role model mother that she thinks is a perfect one, how that kind of things could be affecting her very, very badly. And despite of doing things wonderfully, despite of playing some roles wonderfully, because we have not listened to our own self, because we are doing something which is a have to do, should do, must do. Probably I have seen so many people who have fallen sick, who have been diagnosed with diabetes and high cholesterol and spondylosis and thyroid and so many other diseases in their 35, 40, 45. I think basically all this is because of chronic stress. So there are two kinds of stress. One is acute stress and chronic stress. So acute stress is when you have a tension for 2 to 3 days. Like for instance, let me give you an example, because we are even now dealing with the coronavirus scare. We are even now dealing with coronavirus not being conquered yet. So then, if I run a fever suddenly and if I have to go for a test, till the test reports come, I may feel stressed for a day or two. This is something called as an acute stress. Yes, we all deal with acute stress, and that is another inevitable part of our life. But then acute stress does not cause very severe damage, because even though you go to an extreme irritated phase, but then you get your chances of relaxation. Once I get my reports and I know that my reports are normal, my stress is completely diffused. So dealing with stress, even if it is extreme stress, for small periods of time, I think our body can manage that. It is the chronic stress. When you deal with stress over an extended period of time, it may be a very, very small stressor, but if you're dealing with that over an extended period of time, it is that kind of stress which causes early graying of hair, which causes pigmentation on your skin, which causes early aging, which causes belly fat, which causes polycystic ovarian disease, and so much more. So what are the ways to deal with this stress? So I have listed down 9 ways. Quickly, I'll be just running through a few of them. In fact, as I share these few of these 9 ways with you in this conversation, you will know that, oh, you can think up your own 25 ways to deal with stress. Only you need to first align yourself. So listing down these 9 ways, it's not rocket science. These 9 ways have worked for a lot of people. They may work for you, or there may be some other 9 ways that work for you. You can easily find your own ways to deal with stress, and you can deal with stress very, very effectively in a very, very easy way. Just to start your mind working, just to align you to the fact that yes, you cannot get rid of stress, but what if you could invest some time? What if you could invest some energy into something that helps you manage your stress better? So if there is a period of extreme exertion, what if you could commit yourself to a small period of rest? Rest for your system, rest for your mind, a stress-free period for a few hours of your day, every single day. What if you could make time for it? Will it give you benefits? Yes, it will give you huge benefits. So the next 5 minutes are about that. So before I share the ways, I think this context needed to be established, because the ways are very, very simple. You already probably know them, but you're not making time for them. And why you're not making time for them? Because you're not finding time for them. And why you're not finding time for them? You're not finding time for them because you think they're not that important, but they are very, very important. So why are they very, very important? Because acute stress is something that your body can manage, but chronic stress is something that is actually going to damage your body a lot more than you know. And whatever you're getting stressed about, whether you're getting stressed about being successful as an entrepreneur, whether you're getting stressed about being successful about your weight loss or your health or your personal relationships or anything else, I do not think that you can be super successful in any area of your life if you act from an underlying feeling of stress, because an underlying feeling of stress will never let you come out with the best ideas, will never let you express your emotions in the best possible way. Either you will be too clingy, too needy, too annoying, or you will be too giving, bending backward, saying yes for everything because of the fear of losing something. So I don't think anybody needs to operate out of fear. We all need to operate out of possibilities. So I think talking about these operating out of fear and operating out of possibilities and new paradigms, I think we will keep it for Thursday. Thursday is going to be a powerful conversation which will be about the belief systems that lead to stress. So if you think you would like to be a part of such a conversation, please log in on Thursday at 9 p.m. It's going to be a lot of fun. And if you think there is anybody else who you think will like this conversation, needs to hear what is the exact mechanism or what is the self-talk that we have in our head that causes us to live in a state of stress, I think you're going to enjoy the Thursday conversation. So in the last 5 minutes, I think we have 5 minutes to go. So hi, you have just joined in. So hi Mukesh for being here and welcome. So this is about stress management. We are 20 minutes. We've had a beautiful conversation for 20 minutes. Please go back and watch it and give me your feedback. What did you learn from this conversation? Because it's your feedback which makes me have better and better conversations with you. So thank you very much for being here. So the 9 ways, a few ways I'm sharing. One of them you already know. It is meditation. So do you meditate? What is meditation? That is a different question altogether. But even sitting and chanting Om. So that could just be a very, very beginner stage of meditation. But then focusing your mind on something which is not very stressful to you, which is relaxing to you, is a very good stress management technique. So today guided meditations are available all over YouTube. You can Google some. There are some with Tibetan bells, there are some with Om chantings, there are some which are creative visualization meditations which kind of talk to you about being in a jungle, being in a sitting by a waterfall or whatever else. There are meditation which are done with sounds of the nature in the background. So then if it is difficult for you as beginners to just out of nothing meditate and to observe yourself or to silence your mind, you can increase your focus by this guided imagery, by meditation, pranayam, which is like managing your breath, focusing on your breath, making your breath important. That can take away your mind from the other issues. So one of the way of managing stress is any form of meditation. So if you do not know how to meditate, I think knowing how to meditate or the kind of meditation that people talk in at an ultimate level, I think it's an entire journey. I would also not brag that I know how to meditate, but I do use these guided meditation tapes from the YouTube on and off because it kind of helps me defocus from something that's been playing in loop in my mind and then focus on something else. And that focus on something else kind of changes all my physiological functions and helps me deal with it much better. We also know the power of gratitude. I know that it's all been spoken about over and over again, but I think that speaking about something over and over till it gets boring is fine, because with every conversation, even if that point, like today I'm talking about gratitude, and I know that thousands of people listen to me since this gets put on YouTube, this gets shared in our Knowledge Nuggets group, people forward it to their loved ones. So even if one person who already knows about the gratitude journal, but in this context, in this conversation, if it makes a positive change in that person's life, I think we can only change the world one action at a time, one person at a time. So even if something seems like I already know that, I'm still okay repeating what people already know, because not all people are doing what they already know. So by repetition, you never know when that paradigm shift happens. Another thing is sleeping enough. So if you're feeling very, very stressed, going in a place which is luxurious, a room which is cozy, a light which is comfortable to you, a temperature which is comfortable to you, and just going to sleep can also help you de-stress. So if you're not sleeping enough or if you're not sleeping well, make sure that you change everything in your environment and make sure that you get that sound sleep, you get that relaxed sleep. It's not even how many hours of sleep you need to sleep, it is the quality of sleep. So whatever it takes, I think if you just ask a few powerful questions like what do I need to do, what do I need to change in my environment so that I improve the quality of sleep, and do just that. Antioxidants. Antioxidants help you deal with stress in a way that antioxidants help you feel energetic. Stress causes free radicals. I have had this conversation in an antioxidant conversation. So because it releases free radicals, by taking antioxidants, even if you're not able to reverse the stress, you will be able to reverse the negative effects of the stress, and that is exactly what we are doing through this conversation. Also, taking antioxidants improves your energy levels, and if your energy levels are higher, you can get more things done. If you get more things done, there is not this impending sense of I have so much to do and I'm not able to get things done, and that will reduce your stress too. Of course, having healthy relationships with your friends, with your family. People are now turning to pets because pets are great de-stressors. They have absolutely, everybody needs somebody who loves them without judgment, because judgment is something which causes stress. We feel people are judging us, and somewhere people tend feeling that I am not good enough, and that kind of conversation causes stress. So being around pets gives you a time when there is no judgment, where there is that feeling which is known as unconditional love. So unconditional love and stress cannot coexist. So build healthy relationships with your family members, with your friends. Spend time with pets if that works for you. Spend time with kids if that works for you. Play some games, some board games, some mindless games. Everything need not be goal oriented all the while. So these are not things, everything may not work for everybody, but then I am just opening up that you need to ask yourself what makes you breathe differently, what makes your muscles feel differently. Like for me, massages work very, very well. So I think I love getting pampered. I love being in luxurious places. I love massages, and using massages and spending time in luxurious places, I do feel I'm able to cope with stress a lot better. So after a massage, I generally feel that I am able to put my best foot forward, and I'm able to give that punch to the circumstances which are challenging to me, which I'm probably doing for the first time. I'm able to deal with breakdowns a lot better. So please go and watch my 9 ways to deal with stress. I do not want to list those ways here because it's a lot easier to just make a carousel of it or just make a video of it and share it to you than to just read out those ways. But here this conversation was about saying that it is important for you to take responsibility of your good mood. So I'm ending this with a very, very powerful conversation to you. So Kulwant Kaur, thank you for joining and thank you for being here. So we need to be in a good mood to be the best version of yourself. Ourselves. We need to be in a good mood to be able to do more things in life, to take more chances in life, to have better relationships in life, to come up with better ideas, to be able to communicate better, to be able to handle breakdowns better. We need to be in a good mood. And who is responsible for us being in a good mood? We need to take responsibility for our good mood. So I think one of the things we all need to do is take responsibility for our good mood. And I would like to end this beautiful conversation with saying that rather than expecting somebody to make us feel good or feel bad, of course we're all human, we all want to feel loved, we all want somebody to pamper us, which is absolutely okay. But then wanting and being dependent on them, liking somebody pamper you and being dependent on getting that from somebody else, they are absolutely two different things. Again, we will see how the conversation on Thursday shapes up. So on Thursday we will be talking about the mindset that cause stress, and that could be a It could snap certain things in your mind. That could be a light bulb moment for a lot of you, and things could change for a lot of you. So looking forward to see you on Thursday. Please give me a feedback on this session. Have a look at my video of carousal, where I have listed 9 simple ways you already know, but ways which are very, very powerful, like progressive muscle relaxation. You already know about progressive muscle relaxation. You might have heard about aromatherapy in stress management. These do not cost much. These are easy to do. They do not consume too much of your time. They do not have any side effects. And yes, they give you a break from that chronic stress you have been undergoing. I think this conversation that we are having today is even more relevant because we are all dealing with the extreme boredom of corona, the extreme limitations, because there's very little we can do because of this corona thing which is going around, because of the mindset of the people which is not allowing them to make more chances. I think everybody is having to manage too many things and feeling quite suffocated about it, and suffocation leads to stress. Please use the stress management techniques. Please feel free, feel comfortable, stay healthier, stay beautiful. Thank you for being here on my Facebook Live. See you again on Thursday.